Do it now! Because we live, bitches!
What's up? What's up?
Coming soon to this theater.
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Brian here for the let's see, it's the August 9th episode of CG Horror Movie Club, the club where we watch horror movies. This is your first time here. Real just quick explanation of what we do. Basically, before the stream, we agree to watch a horror movie, then we get together and talk about it. Now, we always try to make sure that it's a movie that's not behind a paywall. So that way you can click on the link in the description below and watch it free of charge. It's usually something that's like on Tubi or Plex or one of these other streaming services. Yeah, they have commercials, but not too many of them. But most important, the movies are unedited because, you know, your boy is not going to send you to a censored version of a horror movie. You know, we don't get down like that here. Anyway, let me bring on my my exceptional co-host, the always awesome Matt Burke. How are you doing, Matt?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I just got off work. Can't wait to be here today. It's a excellent movie I'd love to talk about. I'm sure we're gonna have some debates.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, and I just got my redemption rye poured in my my bullet chip cup. So yeah, sounds
tasty.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Oh yeah, there's Pops. What up, Pops? You want to say anything to these fine people? I got him muted. Except there he goes.
Hey, yo.
A man of few words. Anyway, real quick, I just wanted to ask you guys: have you seen the new Predator movie? Because
I have.
You know, and what did you think?
I thought it was a fucking awesome movie. I'm gonna go back and watch it again. I thought it was a good David and Goliath story. Yeah. I thought that there was a little too much Mary Sue moments. If I want to pick and choose, like bicker about some shit. But I mean, it's a fucking movie, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like, you know, there could be some of that, and it's a David and Goliath story, so that was kind of cool. Also, I'll allow some fucking anomalies to pursue in a story, and a predator can be kind of dumb sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
right.
I'm not saying a predator can be dumb sometimes. I'll allow that. Like, fuck it, it's humanoid, right?
Yeah. So some of them are going to be brighter than others.
Yeah, and I didn't like the mask too much. I thought it was very, very current year or current decade, where it's just very soulless and there's no eye sockets or no. A lot of things in movies and video games, they have the same fucking thing. But other than that, like I thought the movie was cool, but just a couple of little Mary Sue things I would have fucking trimmed that up a little bit. But she earned it.
Yeah, but it doesn't ruin the movie though.
She earned it.
Allow me.
It didn't ruin the fucking movie.
Hold up. If I had known that there was a Comanche dubbed version ahead of time, that would have told me right away that these actors can't really play this part. They couldn't voice the parts the way they should have been. Okay.
Well, here's the thing about the Comanche version. Has anybody seen that?
It's exactly the same, but it's overdubbed.
It's like,
so it's dubbed.
So if they made it, I mean, I agree with Yellow Flash. You put up a good point. If they shot the movie where they were speaking in said language, then it would have been even more immersive. That was what he said.
Yeah,
It would have. It would have. I
But
agree
me-
with that
but me-
completely. But
fuck
you know,
that.
your average
Fuck that.
person's not going to fucking watch it.
Hey, I agree,
Listen,
but fuck
check it
that.
out,
I want
though.
the English
Check it
shit.
out,
I want
though.
all
They
my
all
shit in
could have
English. I'm fucking
adopted
American.
They all could have adopted
America.
some sort of an accent that was similar. You got a dude over here talking like he's from California. You see what
Which I
that
thought was
shit
fine.
pulls me
Which I
right
thought-
out of the story, dude.
Yeah,
I hear you.
not for me, because then you're
Not me,
thinking, yeah, no, not me at all. Because
It
that's
just
one of the
gets-
things that I liked about it was the fact that they weren't arch or stiff. It wasn't like that classic Native American acting that you have in the old John Ford westerns. Ugh, how?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I'm just
Me
saying,
make
it's like
'em
when you can
womp 'em.
actually distinguish a modern accent, a modern type dialect.
I thought that was
From-
perfectly fine. I thought that was much better than having
That
them
just
put
pulls me
put
right
on
out, dude.
Yeah,
It's
not
like,
my
wait a
case.
minute, dude ain't in L.A. What the hell? You know what I mean? That's what that's.
But
you
we're
see,
not
that's what
listening
happens.
to them. We're not hearing them. We understand that they're not speaking English. We're hearing them speaking English, but they're not speaking English. They're speaking Comanche.
Yeah, that's what I
Right?
said. If I'd have known
It's
there was
like
a
when you're-
Comanche dubbed version ahead of time, I would have just watched that right
If
away.
it's dubbed, fuck
You
that.
know?
What they should have done was they should have done what Werner Herzog
Hired
did
actors
with
that can do stuff?
Nosferatu, which is well, good luck. Good luck finding them. All right, that's not there's like 2 or 3 people maybe. Right?
I mean,
No,
I'm just
seriously.
saying, you know, it's
Straight
like
up.
you
Right?
tell them, look, I want you to sound like this, okay? Because just like you tell somebody use a Southern accent, you tell somebody we need an Australian accent here, or whatever. Look at Star Wars, for Christ's sake. It's like every English Australian accent you can possibly find, they threw into the Empire. You know,
Well, that's because it was
I
shot
mean,
in England.
yeah, well, but I mean, you understand what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
those are dialects that you could see carrying into the future, but not going backward into the past. This
Yeah,
is,
but you're not hearing. Yeah, but that's the point. They're not speaking English.
yeah.
We're hearing that. We're hearing it as
Okay,
English, but
but
they're
just
not.
give me
They're not
just
speaking. But they're
give
not
me a
speaking
general
English.
accent that everybody's going to go by, though. That's what I'm
See,
saying.
I disagree completely. I think the movie that really set the mark for that was Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ, right? Where he could have had all of the actors putting on accents, and he didn't. He had them all speaking in their own voices, and I thought that was brilliant. Because what comes across is the performance, the character, right? And I would think maybe an Irish brogue would be
Yeah.
completely out of place. But the way that these kids were talking, I thought was perfectly fine. And I liked the fact that they weren't using like modern slang.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't
they were-
slang, but they just.
But-
I mean, I heard
Like, hey, man, I'm
Spicoli
gonna
once,
go
dude.
take a squat. I'm gonna go take a squat.
I
Right?
heard Spicoli once. That's all. I'm just saying. I heard
Well,
Spicoli
it's like-
once. I was
it's
like,
a fine line to throw
You
down on
know?
a Native American accent speaking English. It's easier to do the French stuff. You know what I mean? Like, blah, blah,
Yeah,
you know, or get a higher.
And it was
Canadian.
shot in Quebec.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. They're like pouring like rain in those motherfuckers over there.
Right. So the
So-
guys who were right. So the French, the French speaking characters were all played by people that spoke French.
yeah, and it sounded legit.
But
Right.
to be to like because so that's Pops'
That's
Because
what
that's-
I mean.
yeah, but
The
that's what
natives took me
but
out of
Brian-
the
Hearing it the way
story.
that they're hearing it. Do you know what I'm
but
saying?
Brian's argument though too
I-
is that when you hear Native Americans talk, you know, their slang, that's how they talk. They sound like they did in that movie. They talk like, "Hey man," like,
Yeah, I
like
lived
that.
in Arizona
They
for
do.
35 years. I had a
They
lot
talk
of
like-
native friends. Okay, like I said, I heard Spicoli once watching
I
this
didn't.
movie, and I was like, "It's." I'm just saying that kind of stuff takes me out of them. It takes me out. It
What
took me
about-
a long time to adjust to English accents and all that in Star Wars. I was like, "Come on, man, you guys couldn't just like."
But you understand
Take it-
also that
you
there
know,
are going to be accents in other cultures,
Right.
right?
Right.
Within English, how many accents are there?
Yeah.
Way
Right?
too freaking many.
everybody-
That's what
Latin
I'm saying.
American Spanish sounds different than Castilian Spanish, the Spanish that's spoken in Spain.
Yeah.
Right.
So
then you
if
can
your
be like,
movie's
oh, so
based
this guy
in
would be like
Spain,
the
you're going to want
equivalent
that
of
kind of Spanish, not the other kind.
I agree with both of you. With both you guys. I actually do.
Or what about Aguirre, Wrath of God? Have you seen that?
The what?
No.
Aguirre, the Wrath of God.
I have not.
No.
Oh, amazing! It's like it's probably Klaus Kinski's best performance. He's absolutely mesmerizing in that, and of course, it was directed by not Wim Wenders, Werner Herzog. Remember the guy that he actually was excellent in the first season of The Mandalorian as the guy from the Empire,
the baby taker or whatever.
Yes,
yeah.
He
was good in there, man. But yeah, I love the movie, man. I like the little rope thing they were doing with the fucking axe. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought that was cool. Like the fucking bear fight. I mean, okay.
It's when she's taking out those. It's when she's taking out those
the Frenchies, and then when she took out when she took out old boy in the fucking like I don't know about all that. I mean, I buy the biting, like I buy maybe taking out boy a little bit, but the biting, I buy the fucking
when she's flipping around and she's like,
Some of it's like I would have done it, but I think we're on a good path with that with this movie.
I really enjoyed it, and I am baffled as to why it didn't get a theatrical release. Baffled.
You will notice
sure shit better than The Predator, that's for sure.
You notice I didn't complain at all about the actual story or the
just the accent.
Okay? My only issue was the freaking accent, dude. I'm just saying. The rest of it was cool. I mean, the rest of it was cool. It was like, it's in the past. The Predator isn't as developed as the one that came and whooped up on Arnie and his boys. Right?
So many new weapons. So many new weapons.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the face, but the mask is what I guess the mask is the main thing I didn't like.
The monster
but I respect it. I respect it because it's different and they can't do the same thing. But I don't respect it in current year because that's what they always fucking go to. I could pull up like 20 different video games, movies, and comic books where motherfuckers just got like a void of nothing there. It's just like a mask with like one little thing. I'm fucking over that shit. I'm over seeing like nothing face. But I did like how the fucking mandibles were exposed within said mask. That was tight as fuck. That was a good design. So it's like, and his toys were tight. His toys were tight when he was taking all Frenchies. Oh my god!
Amazing.
The shield was fucking badass.
The shield was totally sick.
And it was a tall dude.
Staff that breaks in half.
He wasn't a CGI monster like in the Shane Black movie. And I love the fucking Shane Black movie. I'm a Predator stan, guys. Sorry, I love all the Predator movies.
I'm a Predator guy too. But
I like them all for different reasons, and I actually like the one that everybody hates. I like Alien vs. Predator 2. That's my favorite. That's the worst fucking one. It's the worst one.
That's interesting because I don't remember it that well, but after hearing you and Sim talking about it, I'm thinking like maybe I should watch that again.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's just fun. It's like but it's the Predator.
Like a trashy monster movie sequel.
Well, he's sitting up in his fucking throne, right? In his fucking jungle fucking planet on his throne. And they call him the wolf, like in some of the special features. And then like a little like thing goes off, beep, 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 beep. Like he's got to go back to Earth. And he goes to his wall and he's got all these fucking toys. You know what I mean? He grabs the fucking whip. He has a whip that he whips fucking the Predalien with. There's a fucking Predalien in the motherfucker.
Oh, that's right.
He rips that shit. And it's played by Tom Woodruff Jr., the guy who played the first Alien. So he's playing the Predalien in there. And he played the fucking the merman in Monster Squad. But there's just little things like that. The two cannons, like I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch them all and kind of maybe pick my favorite one. But I just remember watching that. I was like, this shit's tight.
All I know is that my own personal opinion, my impression of Prey is that it's the third best Predator movie.
I could understand that.
It's
like
the best
movie-wise
since Predator 2.
Yeah, it is.
Which is a whole lot of fun.
I'd have to go back and rewatch the Rodriguez one. That one I liked a lot.
I
people didn't like
that
it
recently, and
I like it. And he is like of that design. He is of that breed almost. His fucking face is very similar to the next. I wouldn't even say he's like low tech. It's just the way they narrated the story, the way the people took. Like I would say
he
he's
wasn't
on par
low tech
with
at all. All the weapons were incredibly lethal. I just saw them as different, right?
Yeah,
and that they wanted to basically change things up and not have like all the same weapons.
You have
to
do that.
Always been part of the Predator sequels.
It's hard.
Is what kind of new badass weaponry are we going to see?
We have to see new shit.
Predator 2, there was a lot.
was a lot, and they tied it back into Predator too. I don't know if you watched the end of the movie.
Yes,
but that was pretty cool. That was a nice little Easter egg. They didn't have to do that. That was tight as fuck.
yes, I thought so too.
I played a Predator video game real quick it's called Concrete Jungle, where you go into different time worlds, and I was like, I like to see that. You know what I mean? I'd like to see another one maybe in medieval times.
Oh
That'd
my
be kind of
god!
cool.
There's a fan film about a predator and fighting crusaders.
Oh, that sounds fucking bad, dude. That's like some
right, like
3 nights, 4 days shit.
Right. Would you buy a ticket for that? I certainly would.
It kind of sells itself, right? It's like, what the fuck? And then you're already in line buying it with popcorn.
Right. And here's the thing. Prey wasn't the woke nightmare I was afraid it was.
No, it wasn't. I was just like, I'll go check it out because I got to do my Predator due diligence. I'm gonna watch it.
No, me too.
I'll
watch a bad Predator movie.
And then like 2 people that I like fucking respect online were like, dude, it's fucking dope. Go check it out. I'm like, all right. Yeah. That's all it took.
Yeah, but Mr. H gave it a good review. He was like the first
Spencer Death Curse, the fucking horror magazine up and comer that has a City of Rot. He said it was good. Now fucking Preston's like, that shit's metal as fuck. Preston likes it. You know it's gonna be good.
I mean it's once again baffled as to why it didn't get a theatrical release.
Yeah. Everyone's
they were afraid. They were afraid it was going to get the Rotten Tomatoes woke rating. You know.
Oh, for maybe not being woke enough.
I think they're all scared if it's either too much or too little now. Like nobody, I think everybody's running scared. Like was that
more people are talking about it now than would have been had they released it in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really do. I mean, it's a topic everywhere. And I haven't said one bad thing about the movie, and I've got jumped on about the accents.
Well, just say when they talk shit to you, they talk shit to you, for defense, just to say, well, how come the Frenchies got their Frenchy accent?
Well, I mean, that was the whole thing. It was like everything else kind of bled character.
The way that the character is.
Everything else bled character except the brother and his buddies, you know.
To me, they sounded like Native Americans. Like that's how they talk in real life. Like on the rest,
but modern, not what you would expect them to sound like 200 years ago.
Good wampum.
That's what I'm saying. It's a fine line, Brian.
With forked tongue.
It's a fine line, kind of. But I understand.
Yeah, I don't want them to be stupid, but I don't want them to sound like they're surfing on the beach either. You know,
well, I understand. But anyway, I mentioned before Werner Herzog and Ikiri the Wrath of God. It's basically about a group of conquistadors who are looking for El Dorado and get lost in like the Amazon.
Damn.
Nice.
And it's fucking intense, right?
You gotta tell me about that.
But the one thing that always just sets me off a little bit about that movie is that the conquistadors, they're speaking German.
That's
because it's a German movie.
It should be English or I mean, it's a German movie, so I mean, you can't really blame them, you know.
Well,
but I mean, but everything should be in English because it's fucking an international language. I'm sorry.
God, this hat don't fit.
And if it's
an American movie,
yeah, but that depends. Like, for instance, I know I have a lot of friends who love kung fu movies too. Right now, I love kung fu movies. Why? Because what would they show on Saturday and Sunday mornings or afternoons, I should say? Before they would show like the Hammer horror movies, they would show a kung fu movie, and I fell in love with those. Now I understand why now they have these incredible Blu-rays with all these incredible features, and the Shaw Brothers movies are. I'm telling you, they put those in a vault, like a temperature-controlled vault or something, because they're all pristine. Yeah. I've never seen one that even has a scratch on it, right?
Right.
And they have the original language tracks with subtitles, right? Now I understand why some people want like the bad dubbing, right? Because it's like a nostalgia thing. I get it, but I prefer to watch it in Mandarin with the subtitles because it makes me feel like I'm in a time machine or something like that.
It's immersive.
And I'm just like, exactly.
That was what I was saying. I wish I would have watched the Comanche dubbed version with just the subtitles.
Fuck that. Fuck that. What they should have done, to bring it back to Werner Herzog, when he made his remake of Nosferatu, they wanted to release it simultaneously in America. And rather than dub it, you know what he did? He had all of the actors do 2 takes. Luckily, all of the principal actors spoke English, right? And so he had them do a take in German and had them do a take in English. So the English and German language versions of that movie are separate.
Legit.
But they're separate films.
They do that with Northman too. But I mean, it's the same. I mean, the Northman. Sorry, on Netflix. You know.
Yeah. Well, which is a comedy series, right?
Yeah, it's a satire on Viking.
Right.
Fucking
that's genius.
Genius show. It's a genius show. It's hilarious.
I keep meaning to watch.
So fucking funny.
It's Monty Python for the Viking nerds. You know,
got it, Pops. 100%.
It's great. It's hilarious. I loved it. Did you get to check out what I told you to look at last week, Brian?
What was that?
Skinwalker Ranch.
I tried. I couldn't get past the first episode because it's a reality. Well, dude, here's the thing. It's a reality show. I can't stand reality TV. It's not because I was hoping it would be a docu-series.
Well, see, right? You got to get into it when you're seeing stuff actually happening to them live.
When I hear all that crappy music and all those like visual cues that they have for reality TV shows, it's like watching an episode of The fucking Bachelor or something like that.
I don't pay attention to the drama. The one guy that's always whining about digging and shit. I don't pay attention to that, but I'm looking at the shit that's actually happening while they're out there with cameras and they're out there with equipment and shit, you know, and it's like very specific. One guy got just like radiation burns out of nothing, out of nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, you know, like another dude's heads all fucked up, man. They were showing, you know, there's some weird shit going on there, bro. It's like you got to get past the setup and get into when they actually start having shit happen to them.
Yeah, when the guy who owns the ranch was like flying around in like his Lamborghini, that's when I was like, yeah, I think I'm done.
Yeah,
I think I'm done.
Sounds like a preacher pimp.
Yeah, it was just, oh Christ, man, cringe. But anyway, let's say hi to the people in the chat. WD Smith, what is up?
WD. Sim was first. Sim was way.
Oh yes, Sim was first.
And he didn't even come in.
What up, Sim?
You were first, brother. Where are you at?
Yeah, hop in if you feel like it, brother. And then of course, my man Lorenzo Sleestack. Yo. And yes, WD Smith. He says Tubi has all 6 years of Dark Shadows.
That I want to watch.
Fucking does.
That I would like to watch. That looks like fun.
If you've never watched the original Dark Shadows series,
yeah.
Oh, dude, here's the thing. It's a soap opera, right? And the way that soap operas are structured is you take basically one episode's worth of story and you stretch it across 5 days.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck.
But it's so much fun.
Well, I like the character, the story concept, you know, like the whole
Jonathan
gothic
Frid.
American vampire, you know.
Yeah, it's a treat. It really is. I used to run home from school and watch it when they were when they brought it back, right? Because I was too young when it was first airing. But then I remember, because I had always read about it in my monster magazines, right? And I'd always seen those pictures, especially that one picture of Jonathan Frid with the really spooky lighting and the wolf's head cane, right? Speaking of
funny you say that.
Canes, yeah, no, I know
they didn't put it in here though.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's one of my problems.
We'll talk about that
with the film. Yeah. But yeah, no, Dark Shadows is great. But here's the thing: it's like it's something I always come back to because there's so many damn episodes.
It looks like something cool, like Game of Thrones, but in the 70s, but with vampires, like because episodic, but it's more soapy, kind of like Days of Our Lives. But
yeah, well, I mean, it was designed as a soap opera for little boys.
Okay.
And I think actually, the first season doesn't have Barnabas Collins. I think that's when it was just like a gothic romance kind of a thing. Okay. And then he was just like, well, fuck it, we need to step this up. And then he, put in a vampire, and then later brought in a werewolf. And then, of course, there's ghosts lurking around too, and it's just and then there's the time travel episodes. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Let me put it this way. Yeah, I still can't bring myself to watch the Tim Burton Dark Shadows because I was so deeply disappointed that they decided to do a spoof instead of a sincere remake, which they did in the 90s. In the 90s, they did a primetime TV revival, and it was really good and had exactly the right tone, right? So it's kind of like you understand that all this shit's really silly, but it's being played straight enough where it's not always winking at you.
I see.
Right? And Johnny Depp had always said in interviews that, he was a huge Dark Shadows fan, and that he used to walk around his house pretending he was Barnabas Collins.
Oh, wow.
So I was just like, all right, then. And then the movie comes out, and I can't rank it because I haven't watched it, but I saw the trailer, and it was like, yeah, no, I'm out.
I watched that movie, and that's what made me want to watch the TV show. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll check out the TV show because I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't know it was a spoof, though, because I'd never seen the TV show. You know what I mean? Christopher Lee does a little cameo in there, I think, one of his last roles. It's like an old fisherman at a bar or at one of the, because it's like a fisherman villa.
Yeah. But, it was also in Sleepy Hollow.
It just seems like a Tim Burton movie though, because you know how he plays his shit. His movies are kind of like that. They're a little goofy.
Goofy. Yeah. Campy.
Yeah, they're a little campy, goofy. It felt like that. I always thought it was funny though.
I always thought it was funny that people thought that the 1989 Batman movie he did, it was all dark. It was inspired by the Killing Joke, and I was like, really? Did we watch the same movie? Because that was some campy shit. That wasn't. Yeah. It was an adaptation of the TV series.
You might even like that one a little bit, but you probably I don't know because you love the TV show. So
I'll watch it one of these days. One of these days. It's on my Netflix queue.
I'm sure it's better than Monster one.
Oh, dude, I'm actually looking forward to that. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't make it through the trailer, but now I'm like, it looks like a car wreck.
Yeah.
Right. And who doesn't? Right. Are you going to turn your eyes and look away from a train derailing? No, your eyes going to be glued to that whether you like it or not.
See what happens.
It looks like such a clusterfuck that I'm like, oh, this actually might be entertaining. Let me get off on Rob Zombie's misfortune and hubris and watch him completely fucking destroy what was left of his career. And we'll never have to fucking sit through another remake of fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Motherfucker. Give fucking props where props are due, god damn it.
Oh shit.
Phil in the chat. What up, Phil? Everybody go back CG Vacation. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I haven't seen it yet, but there is going to be a Six Gun Gorilla Abigail illustration in that.
Nice.
So very happy about that. Muchas gracias to Phil for inviting me to that party. Let's see. Lorenzo says, I enjoyed the 90s Dark Shadows. Oh, you know what was the other thing that was hype about the 90s Dark Shadow revival? It had my lady. It had my wife. It had Barbara Steele in it. And I will watch anything with Barbara Steele. And God, who else was in that? Ben, the guy, he was in Chariots of Fire. I'm blanking on his name now. Sorry, I smoked too much weed. W.D. Smith says the Tim Burton one wasn't too bad. At least they had cameo appearances by Jonathan Frid and a couple others from the original. I thought Jonathan Frid was already dead at that time, but
no, I think he was in that.
Jackie Earle Haley's in there too, and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll check it out.
One of my favorite actresses is in there too. I forgot her name. I don't smoke weed, but.
But you just have natural brain damage.
Ava Green. I think her name's Ava Green, the one from Sin City and
the
Sin City sequels.
And
she just Miss Pettigreen, another Tim Burton movie. She's just fucking good. Mm-hmm. Her and Emily Blunt, which is in this movie, and Kate Beckinsale or Beckinsale School, but Kate Fuck, the one from Lord of the Rings.
Blanchett.
Forgot her name. Blanchett.
Yeah. They're all fantastic. Toni Collette, I think,
She's
is
good
probably
too.
one of the best living actors. Period. And Sarah Polley, she's really good. But no, yeah, there are some really great actresses around these days, and a lot of them don't get the love that they deserve or the attention that they deserve. But anyway, let's just dive into it, man. Let's dive into tonight's movie, which was Matt's suggestion, which is the 2010 remake of The Wolfman, the Universal Monsters classic. Now, I'm a Wolfman stan. I don't remember this, but my mom said that when I was a little kid, I would run around the house wearing my Wolfman mask, and I actually remember that mask, and I actually remember wearing the mask. But she said I would run around and go, Wolfman, 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 and the Wolfman was my favorite monster when I was a little boy. And got some merch here, not a whole lot. I do have a plush. I was just digging through the closet, trying to find a Universal.
Dude, I got one in the garage too. I forgot to bring it in here. I got one too, a big one, still in the package. It's got the original movie art.
Go and grab it, mofo. No, I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to
later.
Yeah. Oh, is it from because I
it's from the original
I don't have
Wolfman.
anything from the
2010
Wolfman.
I don't have shit from. They don't have nothing yet for that. But this one, my pops
they released
gave me.
a bunch. They released
really?
a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think they're pretty expensive too, because I'm kicking myself in the ass for not having bought any. Right. This is really cool because if you the head, the hands, and the feet are removable, and you can replace them with Lon Chaney Jr.'s head and hands and feet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it could either be the Wolfman or Lawrence Talbot. And then the moon here changes if you turn the little thing on the back. And
that's cool.
And then I noticed that the moon has like a texture to it. So that made me think like, oh, I think this is glow in the dark. And then sure enough, I tried it out, and yeah, the moon is glow in the dark. But yeah, I am such a stan for the original movies. What I always loved about the Wolfman and Lawrence Talbot was that he was such a melancholy hero. He was such a tragic hero.
So tragic, yeah.
He was what I would refer to as a good monster. Right?
Yeah.
Like the Frankenstein monster, good monster.
Yeah.
Right? Wolfman, good monster. Dracula, bad monster.
Yeah.
Right? I always wanted to see like a really good House of Frankenstein remake. And to tell the truth, when I watched this again last night, I was thinking, wow, what a missed opportunity. If they had followed that up with like a kick-ass Dracula and a kick-ass Frankenstein, and then done House of Frankenstein and had a monster rally, that would have been legit as fuck.
Well, sorry.
It wasn't. Yeah, but I mean, the problem is the film that we're talking about tonight. It's not a. It wasn't a hit. No. I think it probably did okay.
Nobody knew about it. I remember back in the day, I'm like, I'm gonna go see the Wolfman. They're like,
it got sort of
talking about. What are you talking about? I remember my boss at work. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go check that out, eh?" And like he liked it, and I remember it came out, but nobody fucking knew about it. I remember every friend I showed, they came to my house. I had a barbecue a couple times, and we'd watch it and shit, and nobody knew about it. Like, yeah, it was pretty cool, And I watched this. The Tubi version is a theatrical one, which is cool, but it's nothing for me compared to the uncut version. And
Agreed.
The uncut version sets up the whole his whole form as an actor, and sets up the whole tragic hero, and having Emily Blunt come and visit him and pry him away from his theatrical caravanning throughout the UK. He doesn't want to come home. He doesn't want to see his dad, and it just kind of fucking forces you into the story. This version, which I was like, fuck, because I've been watching the unrated version for the past 10 years.
The unrated version?
Yeah, I own it on DV.
Yes, I own it on Blu-ray.
there's a build. There's no build in this one whatsoever. He is thrown in within the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie. So there's a build. So he builds with she goes, like I said, sees him in the theater, and he's with all of his extras and in his dressing room, and she's like, you got to come see your brother, and it's fucking sad. And then he meets Max von Sydow, and they talk about the Beast of Gévaudan, and he's got the fucking cane. That's again, it's building. You're going through the moors, you're going through London, they're building that up, and it wasn't much. If you're gonna watch the movie that far into the movie, that little bit wouldn't have fucking made a difference, but it would have made the movie better for you.
I totally agree.
There was none of that, and you're just fucking there. The prodigal son's returned. It's like, fuck, dude, there's nothing built. Like, so I was like, damn, that sucks, dude. Like, because people watching this now, they're gonna just watch that, and they're just gonna be thrust in. Like, there's no fucking character development for Talbot in the beginning.
Right.
That little bit was building his character, his tragedy, you know what I mean? And his fear of returning home to his father that sent him to a mental institution when he was fucking young, Yep. But the movie's still tight as fuck, because that's the movie I seen in the movie theater that got me into it, and eventually you get over it. But fuck, dude, that.
Oh yeah. Well,
I had to say that piece. It was one thing I had to say about tonight. That was the one thing I had to say.
Well, because I think that people, if they watch like the theatrical version, if you like it, then go check out the director's cut.
Yeah,
it has an extra 17 minutes of footage, and also it has all the stuff that Matt just mentioned. Right?
Yeah.
It's paced much better than the theatrical version, because that's one of the things that's missing so much from contemporary movies, mainstream movies, is their pacing's all fucked up.
There's no breathing, and just a little bit of fucking reasoning behind the character, like a slight development, not too much, just a little bit,
Yep. And lots of extra gore.
Yeah, there's so much gore in that one. Even the beginning, he like bites the camera. The Wolfman comes in and bites it. They don't even do that in the other one. So much gore.
Yeah, and it also has the scene with the singer, with the blind singer.
Yeah.
Which I'm baffled that they left that on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, they're just trying to get people in the theater, and this movie was just rushed together. Rick Baker's in here, right?
Of course. Yeah, he's one of the hunters.
Yeah.
And yes. Yeah. And Rick Baker, for those of you who don't know, the legendary special makeup effects artist, the guy who taught Rob Bottin, did The Thing and RoboCop and a bunch of other stuff. Rick Baker was one of my childhood heroes. For a short time as a kid, I thought that that's what I wanted to do when I grew up, was be a special makeup effects artist.
I was afraid. I always thought it looked so cool. I remember hearing the name Rick Baker at a young age from like America. I think my sister told me that's
American Werewolf in London.
Knew the name Rick Baker. And I'm talking like grade school. I heard of that shit. I'm like, that's cool. That looks so interesting, but I don't think I could do that. I wouldn't want to fuck
tried.
The movie. It was like with tattoos. I would never want to draw on somebody.
That's too much pressure. Yeah. But that's the thing, is I discovered that I wasn't really good at illustrating. I wasn't really good at sculpting. I'm just not good with my hands, except when it comes to loving. And so, it's the same way. Like I always say, every comic book writer, if they're going to be honest with you, is going to tell you that the reason why we write comic books is because we can't draw them. But holy shit, man. I really, wait, hold on a sec. W.D. Smith says, I like that Famous Monsters t-shirt. I need to find one. Always loved that magazine. Yeah, you and me both, brother. You and me both. And check this. And speaking of Famous Monsters, there's a pretty cool little shot here of
damn, you got a gang of good shots.
Benicio, our boy Benicio.
You have to go through these.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, sitting in the makeup chair with a vintage issue of Famous Monsters of Filmland, with of course the cover by the legendary Basil Gogos.
Studying source material.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Well, here's the thing. Del Toro was a monster kid, and he grew up with the Universal monster movies. He remembers as a little boy having a Wolfman poster on his wall. And Rick Baker, of course, also Monster Kid. I have to say, considering a lot of people don't understand that this movie was in development hell for a while.
Forever. I remember that. They're like, I'm surprised they got this director and it turned out this good, to be honest with you.
It's a miracle. It really is. It really is. That this movie turned out as good as it did. I think if there's any problems with it, they're in the script. Right? The script, of course, by Andrew Kevin Walker, who is most famous for Seven, right? And I'll get into my issues with the script. But at one point, this was going to be directed by Brett Ratner.
I think I remember that. Yeah. And
I remember just going, oh, really? Oh, fuck. I'm not gonna. Sorry.
I'm surprised that Johnson was down with all that gore. You know what I mean? There was so much fucking gore in this movie. This movie puts motherfuckers to shame.
Oh, like, dude. That's
like that Buggy in the unrated version when he's he is an American Werewolf in London. Talbot is. He is the American Werewolf in London. He goes there and that bus, you know what I'm talking? That runs over that guy like,
of course. Yeah. The steam powered double decker bus.
He's like, they show all that in the fucking remake.
Oh, it's fantastic, dude.
So much gore in the
yes, boy. I'm in here. We're talking about horror movies. We're talking about the Wolfman.
Monster movies. And the
he
gore?
just beat his dad in a wing off. He was up there eating hot wings versus his dad, and he whooped him. How much money did you win?
Congratulations, young man.
He won $10 eating hot wings, boy.
Oh, heck yeah. Well done, young man. Well done. Buy a lot of comic books with that.
Yeah, the last two were like extra saucy.
Extra saucy? Saucy. They was saucy.
Well, what's really brutal is when all that stuff congeals at the bottom of the pot. Right? If you're a real man, you just like spoon that onto your like wings and just
He's walking away. He goes, "My lips are literally burning." Yeah. But it was worth that $10, boy.
Heck yeah. Let's just hope those wings don't burn on the way out too.
You can tell he's my grandkid, and you can tell that's my son up there challenging his son to a hot wing contest, right? You know.
Yeah, man. Shadowhawk, what up, brother? He says werewolves are CG bread and butter. That's the thing. I've always been a werewolf stan. Werewolves have always been my favorite monsters, my favorite type of monster. My favorite monster is the Frankenstein monster.
I was a pug.
Favorite type of monster? Werewolves. And
I was a pug too, bro.
What was that?
I was a pug for Halloween. I think I was like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, one of those. But I remember my mom, she hooked it up. My mom was pretty good at like, my mom was like the artsy one, and my dad was a drummer. But I was like the Tin Man one year. I was Pinocchio. I was fucking I was the Wolfman. She could make all the costumes from scratch. Edward Scissorhands. She made a badass Edward Scissorhands
dude.
1 year.
Oh,
I was like,
that's so cool.
She got the Freddy Krueger gloves and fucking just retrofitted them with scissors and fucking dyed my hair black.
Nice.
I had big hair. Spray painted it and fucking we went to the Goodwill store and found some boots. And I remember fucking wearing them shits afterwards. Like, these shits are tight. They're like, with the buckles on the sides. I thought I was cool. I'm like, hey, fools are looking at me like, what are you doing, you fucking weirdo? I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm still wearing them like in like, I don't know. I'd have to go back and check what grade the movie came
out. Stompers. Don't make fun of my stompers.
The gore in this motherfucker, dude. The gore in this motherfucker.
It's fucking awesome. And it's one of the things that I appreciated about it when I first saw it in the theater. Right? Because what do you really want to see with a werewolf? You want to see werewolves eviscerate motherfuckers, right?
Tear shit apart. Yeah, tear it apart. That's what he does too.
Werewolves do not play basketball. They tear motherfuckers limb from limb.
Like this movie had things that like I didn't ask for, and I was like, oh my god, I want that.
Like that's extra. Oh
yeah,
awesome.
Well, not even that. Like just like the gothic, like visual imagery of him on a gargoyle howling at the moon in London, gothic London. Like I didn't like. That's cool. That's fucking. I would love to see that.
But ain't that in all of them?
He's running on the fucking roofs and going boom, boom, like Batman. I fucking love seeing characters run on roofs and shit. You know, that's awesome.
Look, it's Rich. Hold up, back up. We saw Rich.
I'm not your monkey pops.
Look at that shot, bro.
There we go. Yeah. I have to admit that when I saw this in its initial theatrical release, that scene was when I was like, okay, yeah, all right, I'm enjoying this. Like,
How
this
could
is
you
really
not like
good.
that? It's like, this
How
is so
could you
fucking
not?
epic, dude.
It's totally freaking epic.
It's like rage watch at that point. You're like, oh,
right. And the thing that I've always said about this movie is that I like it more than it deserves.
yeah.
And that's always been my line, but the more like having watched it again last night, and I think maybe time has also been somewhat kind to it. I actually think that this is a genuinely a really good movie. The director's cut, anyway.
Oh, for sure, that shit's tight. Like that, I have to watch it that way. Like I felt like,
yeah.
Oh man, what the fuck? Where's my fucking Von Sydow and the fucking the whole scene where he's acting in the theater, and her like making him go there, and then they fall in love. You know what I mean? And it's like a forbidden love because it's his dead brother's resented wife. You know what I mean? So there's that. You know what I mean? And man.
And can we say also something about the casting in this? It's fucking perfect.
Fucking next level, dude. Perfect.
Next level.
Hugo Weaving.
Benicio del Toro.
Looks like fucking Lon Chaney Jr. He looks like the motherfucker.
Yes,
he just straight looks like him. He's like no other actor still. This movie's been out for fucking since 2010. There ain't nobody that looks like that motherfucker. And I would still cast him in this role. Today I would cast him in there. No matter what the fuck his age is. Even if he's got white hair, I'll put him in the motherfucker.
Absolutely. And he is somebody that I think is one of the best living actors.
He's great.
And is always entertaining and is always not afraid to just go out there.
Yeah.
Right? My God, that fucked up accent that he has in The Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious in that.
Fear and Loathing, he's hilarious in that for me.
Oh,
he's like, I just want to carve a Z in your fucking forehead. And he's just like, as your attorney, I advise you to take 10 hits of the sundial acid tabs. Just like fucking.
And then the freak out that he has
he's
in
like,
the bathtub is one of the all-time great shit fits.
That that movie's supposed to scare you away from drugs, right? Like that's what allegedly that's what Gilliam was saying. It's supposed to fucking terrify you. But I've watched that movie a bunch. I got the fucking special edition.
It's great. It's
that's
fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Such a when I've heard that he was directing that because I had read the book. When I heard that he was directing that, at first I was like, "What the?" And then I was like, "No, actually, that sounds perfect." And that's a fantastic movie. But the meltdown that he has in that is one of the all-time great cinema meltdowns. It's right up there with
Believable. Yeah.
With the meltdown that why am I blanking on her name? She was. It'll come to me in a minute.
I always thought him and Brad Pitt side note. I always thought him and Brad Pitt were the same guy when I was really young. I seen him in License to Kill, and with Timothy Dalton. And he was just
it was when he was really young.
Because he's so thin, his face is like
yes.
And I thought I saw Brad Pitt in like California or some other movie, and I'm like, oh, that's the same guy because he looks like Brad Pitt when they were both the same age. Like it doesn't look like him now or then, but they look very similar, like cousins almost. But enough to where I thought it was the same fucking actor. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing, he's one of those guys like Jack Nicholson. It's like you're casting a werewolf and you're getting Jack Nicholson. Bing, he's not even gonna really need much makeup, right?
Yeah.
And same thing with Del Toro. I was just like, oh my God, slam frickin' dunk. This is gonna be good.
Yeah, I like he's like, I will kill you. I will kill all of you.
All of you.
Like that,
somebody do something about it.
And some of the CGI is a little wonky, but I still like it. But some of the concepts of the CGI, the way the teeth like they bleed when it starts popping and the teeth move around.
And the translucence of the skin on the
little
hands.
Concepts.
They are, but
like the ideas of what they were doing just weren't as good. Is what I'm saying. Like that's a good idea, but it just wasn't executed. But it's of its time,
Exactly. And I think that what I find disappointing about the CGI is that that was very much, I think, the studio stepping in.
Yeah, and that was at that time.
Because,
you know what
yeah, and I mean, still to this day, remember, the only reason why we got an actual puppet in The Mandalorian for Grogu was because Werner Herzog got on Jon Favreau's case. And because Favreau, to please the studio, would do a take with the puppet and a take for the CGI.
Yeah.
And Herzog was like, "You are a coward. Leave the puppet." Right?
Yeah, right.
Don't give those fuckers they're not your friends. Producers are not your friends. The studio's not your friends. Make your movie your way. Make it in such a way where they're not going to be able to have a choice.
There's a couple of scenes in this one and in the unrated one, you know, like a couple of the Anthony Hopkins transformation scenes at the end where it's a little dodgy. Like there's a little ones here and there, and there's some where it's like, hey, you guys didn't even need to do that. You could have just shot it like, you know.
Well,
there's some CGI shit though that's pretty cool where I'm like, oh, I would have left that. Some of the feet and hands that are changing, I thought are kind of cool.
Yeah, but here's the thing that's really disappointing.
He's not the quadruped, you know, or
he's both.
He's both, yeah. That's true.
You know, and to me, that was like the moment when the movie really gave me a boner, is when he just drops to all fours and this is galloping across the fucking booking across the fucking rooftops.
The roofs. Yeah, that's so awesome.
Amazing. What I find so disappointing about the CGI is that Rick Baker actually did a transformation.
Oh, damn. That's fucked up. I think I heard about that.
You can tell that Joe Johnston is a in-camera guy.
Yeah. Definitely.
When you look at all of his movies, you can tell
Rocketeer, fucking Captain America. They're both good. I like Captain America. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies. It's one of the first pre-fucking Whedon movies too. You know, I think
Winter Soldier is better.
Yeah, it's better.
I think Civil War is a whole hell of a lot of fun. Although that's not really a Captain America movie. That's actually
an
really
Avengers
movie.
Yeah.
But clearly he had his heart in the right place, and they got somebody that is old enough and old school enough to respect the original film and to want to approach it with some semblance of respect.
Yep.
Another thing that he said that he was excited about was introducing a new generation to Gothic horror.
I remember him saying that, actually.
Yes. And, you know, the Gothic horror film died a long time ago. You know, with I think the last time we had Gothic horror films was the Hammer films and the Roger Corman Poe movies. That's not to say that there haven't been, you know, a Gothic horror movie here, a Gothic horror movie there, but I'm talking about the Gothic horror movie as a genre. It's kind of gone the way of the Western.
Yeah.
In a lot of respects. And that's unfortunate because I love Gothic horror.
This is kind of like pinnacle Gothic horror, you know what I mean? With the man coming home to the manor, that's, you know, like a character that's fucking, you know, depressed and down, and fucking he comes home and he's a prodigal son, haunted, and his dad is like the worst. And Anthony Hopkins, to me, this is his favorite, my favorite role, hands down. I like him as Loki in like as Odin in the first Thor movie. Yeah, the other ones are kind of weird. But in this movie, by far, hands down, all
suck, you know?
He's so fucking tight in this fucking movie. So badass too. And you know he's a fucking werewolf from the beginning, but you're just kind of like you just want to play along a little bit, you know? But you fucking know. And he's just given his Welsh accent like through the whole movie almost, but like even though it's England, you know. And the one-liners he uses in here are so cool, you know. He's like, "You do know I love you, my boy. You do know I love you." You know, it's just shit like that.
Right. And he says it in such a way that there's no emotion or a feeling behind it. You're right. It's just those dead eyes, and there's that wonderful scene where he's like showing a candle before his eyes, and he's just like, you know, lights are on, but nobody's home.
You can see I am quite
dead inside. Right. It was the depiction of this character that was, and maybe still is, my main beef with this movie. In the original, of course, the character was played by Claude Rains.
Yeah.
Who's better known for his role in The Invisible Man. He also played the Phantom of the Opera.
That's what I watched, Family Opera, with him. That was like the one I watched that more than anything with him.
Yeah, what sucks about that version of the Phantom of the Opera is that he's like in it for like what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, not too much.
Not too much. Cool. It's just a musical. And mind you, making the Phantom of the Opera a musical is a genius move. I've just never seen it done right. And that's certainly an example. One of the things about the original Wolfman that makes it so tragic, of course, is that Talbot's father basically kills his own son. That's how the film ends. He beats his head in with the silver cane. Now, the whole silver thing, a lot of people don't know this, but silver is not, in folklore, it's not a werewolf thing. It's a vampire thing.
Right.
It's something that vampires are vulnerable to, not werewolves. Kurt Siodmak was the guy that created the link between silver and werewolves. And it's interesting because that means that that original film, The Wolfman, has changed the folklore of werewolves forever.
Right? Just with the gypsy lady and Bela Lugosi.
Oh, Maleva. Oh my God. Yeah, of course, Bela Lugosi cast as Bela, Maleva's son. Yeah, Maria Uspenskaya. And one of the reasons I've always been such a Wolfman stan was he was the one character who appeared the most and came back the most in all of the Universal monster movies, right?
Consistent, yeah.
It's the Lawrence Talbot Chronicles.
Yeah.
It begins with the Wolfman, of course. Then Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Then Castle Frankenstein. Then in Castle Dracula. And they are actually, I read the script for this, by the way. They were going to do a Dracula versus the Wolfman.
Oh, that would have been sweet.
And I read the script. It was very good, actually.
Yeah, you can see Wolfman kind of, he represents our stand against these monsters in a way. And sometimes, he's the one that would kind of fight for us in the story.
Oh.
Like if I connected them all together, he would be the one that would kind of, maybe he would sway the monster, Frankenstein's monster, to come help, but he would be the one.
The two of them against Dracula. That's how if I got my dream project Mummy. And I got to write that, yeah.
Because Dracula is the Mummy, and the Mummy is Dracula. He's Egyptian, he's fucking Valachian, but they're both similar, and they're, you know what I mean? To me, they're the main bad guys.
In there, but I would want to stick to the original unholy trinity.
Oh yeah, well,
right,
yeah. I like them all though. I'd have to
bring them back for House of Dracula, maybe. Then you could just go nuts and have the fucking Creature from the Black Lagoon, all kinds of beasties, all
the bride
in that piece. But also, how could I forget Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein?
That was the one I watched as a kid. Out of all the fucking OG Universal movies, I always watched that one the most. I liked that one a lot. It was just kind of goofy and fun for a kid,
But the monsters are played straight.
They are, yeah.
And Lon Chaney Jr.'s performance in that is poker faced.
Yeah. He's scary in there.
It's still the same tortured soul. And he was a tortured soul. He had a very, very strange relationship with his father.
Very similar to this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe it took some inspiration from the actual actor and father. You know what I mean?
Maybe. He hated his father because his father actively interfered with his career, actively prevented him from getting roles. He said famously, they had to starve me to take his name because they didn't want Creighton Chaney. They wanted Lon Chaney Jr. And a really fascinating piece of history regarding Lon Chaney Jr., whom I've always wanted to do either a novel or a comic or a screenplay about. It's up here. He was born dead. He was born stillborn.
I want to say, is that stillborn or?
Yes. He was stillborn. And midwife came out of the bedroom and let Lon Chaney know, yeah, it's a boy, but it didn't make it. This is in the dead of winter, right? And they're in this cabin. He grabs the dead baby, runs out to the ice, chops a hole in the ice, dunks the baby into the water. Supposedly, when he brought him back up, the baby was screaming his lungs out.
Damn, that's awesome.
Lon Chaney Jr. was born to play Lawrence Talbot. He was born to play the Wolfman. And I was a little fucking depressed kid, right? I had like in 6th grade, I wanted to kill myself for no reason, right? Because I had a chemical imbalance in my brain. But then I looked at Lawrence Talbot and I was like, oh, it's like all he wants is death. And it was the same thing with the Frankenstein monster. Dead. I love dead. Hate living. Right? So as a kid, I just connected with this shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever seen House of Dracula. It's a pretty trash movie. But in that, it's the end of the Lawrence Talbot saga, and he's cured of his lycanthropy, and he gets the girl and goes off into the sunset.
Oh, that's awesome. I haven't seen that one. And I know it's one of the biggest ones too. So I haven't seen it.
I wouldn't say it's one of the biggest. I remember seeing it actually on a big screen on there's a movie classic movie theater by me that was like they spent I think like $1 million actually restoring it. This was like one of the old movie palaces. People don't realize that movie theaters didn't used to be like, you know, multiplexes. They were palaces. They often had themes. It might be Greek. It might be Chinese. It might be. I mean, if you can think of it, they had a theater in that style, right? Like most famous being Mann's Chinese Theater, and there were these movie palaces. I mean, I remember there was a theater near me, a Route 4 theater, that was huge. It was gigantic, and every seat in that theater was a good seat. Like awesome. You were never like, ah, shit, I'm like stuck here. No, every seat in that theater, I saw the King Kong remake there. I saw Star Wars there. I saw Empire Strikes Back there, and they chopped it into 2 theaters and fucked it all up, unfortunately. But yeah, I've strayed afield a bit. But that's what we do here on CG.
Every time. Every time.
Yes. But yeah, Anthony Hopkins, one of those guys that loves to take chances, is always looking for an opportunity to do something outrageous.
He's outrageous in here. And there's a scene too that another one of my favorite scenes with him in here that's not in it's not in this version. There's a scene where Emily Blunt walks up the stairway and he's eating an apple with he's cutting it and she's like, hi, how you doing? And he just eats the apple and he's just staring right at her and just eating it like a wolf, and then she just walks away and it's just, I love that shit. And then there's a scene where they're eating dinner and it's just fucking very like off-putting. Like there's a lot of little things that they cut out that kind of help with the build of the brood, build in the brood, the dinner scene's cut out too.
I absolutely agree. I think if this movie were made now or released now, they probably would have released the 2-hour version.
Probably, yeah. I think
because back then they wanted running times to be short. Now your average running time is 2.5 hours.
You know why they wanted them short, right?
Right, so they could show more films.
Right.
You're showing a 3-hour movie. You're not going to be able to show that 3-hour movie as many times as you could show a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Right. And I love the fact that movies can be 3 hours long. It's just that 99% of the movies that they're releasing these days that are 2.5, 3 hours long have no business being that long. They're not better. They're just longer.
What do you think about the score for this movie?
Oh, superb.
Fucking awesome, huh?
Very good. Very good. Very lush, lavish. This is very clearly a very lavish production. It's a beautiful looking movie. It has a handmade quality.
The cinematography is like, like there's just so many shots. Like you had a bunch of them, and then there's more too, where it's just like, damn, the cinematography in here is fucking on point,
It's just a beautiful looking movie. And speaking of beautiful looking things, Emily Blunt is just terrific in this. I think. I don't think that they could have cast that part any better.
I don't think so either.
I think that like she's great in everything that I've seen.
Maybe Eva Green, but I think she's perfect.
Yeah.
This is the first movie I've seen her in actually. I like when he gets bit too. Like there was a little bit of a haunting feel to it, like a little scariness. Mm-hmm. It's only one scene where he wakes up as a child, and obviously we're gonna talk spoilers tonight if that's okay. His father murdered his mother, but when he goes and he has this scene, and he goes into the manor, and there's these like big hedges that are carved like animals because his father's a big game hunter, and he's like kind of like Raven the Hunter a little bit.
Yeah,
which is fucking metal as fuck.
Yeah,
and he goes in there and he sees his father and the mother had killed herself with a razor, and I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool, you know what I mean? But I was thinking about that scene. I'm just like, fuck, this shit's so rushed. Like I was just like, ugh. I was like, dude. And I'm pretty basic with like movies and the way I feel about shit. But I'm like, fuck, and stories and stuff. But I'm like, damn, dude, that shit's fucked up. They didn't need to chop that out. Like this The Brood is so much better.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. The pacing is so much better. Shadowhawks says the funny part is, by all reports, Chaney had dog breath. Well, he was a dog man.
Dog ball breath.
Yeah. He there's a really great picture of him sitting in the makeup chair, petting his dog. Or his dog jumping up on him, actually.
Dogs are awesome, man.
Yeah, they are. It's like, I can understand people that don't like cats because it's like, okay, well, that person hasn't met the right cat. Right? But how can you not like dogs?
Dogs are awesome. Oh, you know what's funny too about the makeup, like the transformation in here?
Yeah.
So he's transforming, right? He hits the OG fucking Wolfman look mid-transformation. It's like, what up? There's Lon Chaney Jr., yes. And then they take it a step further, and his face gets fully black, and the fangs get even bigger, and he gets even more ferocious. But it's like an homage. It's like an ode. It's almost like they're paying homage, and they do it twice. They do it when he's in Oh man, I love that fucking. And I was just like, damn. I was watching last night, and I was just like, dude, I love this fucking transformation in the asylum scene. He fucks these motherfuckers up. Like they fucked him up as a kid, and he's like, oh my god. He's like, I will fly out the window with wings and sprout wings and fly out the window. And I'm just like, oh yeah, motherfucker, he's gonna throw you out that motherfucker.
And what's great about
like
that,
fucking Dracula on a spike.
Yeah, and what's great about that is that, the Austrian doctor, who's supposed to obviously kind of be like a Sigmund Freud type, is insisting like there's no such thing as the supernatural.
Yeah,
there's no such thing.
Yeah.
Right? No god, no devil, no werewolves, no vampires, and he's like transforming right behind him.
And then you got fucking Hugo Weaving's Aberline, the real life
fantastic
Jack the Ripper detective, you know what I mean? From actual history. Yeah. So that was a pretty cool little thing. And then Johnny Depp played him in From Hell, the same character. And he's just kind of open-minded for the most part, but he's like, you're an actor and you're taking on these different facades, and I know you've been in an asylum. He does a great job in here.
He's really good, but I didn't feel that character deserved to be treated like a villain.
Yeah, you could. Well, I mean, he is a villain.
Persecutor.
There's some stuff in there where he's like, I don't suppose you have any silver bullets. Like I kind of felt like that was like a hero mode move too. You know what I mean? And
right.
Fuck it. I mean, I would have liked to see him in the sequel because he got it. He got it at the end. You know what I mean? He got the bite.
Yeah, but you don't want to.
He ain't gonna do it though.
Here's the thing. You don't want. I mean, you could have him in the sequel, but you shouldn't have been the star of the sequel because you want Lawrence Talbot back.
Yeah, well,
right.
I mean,
then you want then you have immortal, death yearning Lawrence Talbot.
Yeah, that would be pretty.
Who is the best Lawrence Talbot?
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. And you know what, dude? To be honest with you, I actually I'm cool with fucking Dracula Untold and this. Like, I'm cool with those to be the fucking movies. Like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, it ain't gonna happen because there's a lot more problems with Dracula Untold. But it suffers some of the similar shit. That one's fucking PG-13, and it's got him fucking going in and impaling motherfuckers, like taking motherfuckers. Have you seen that one?
Well, yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't remember it very well. I remember thinking it was okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But for me, it was like
But you love that shit.
For me, I loved it, but I was also
just okay. That shit gave you a fucking boner, dude.
It did in some ways, but some of it was like, fuck. Why did you PG-13 that? That's like fucking PG-13ing the fucking RoboCop remake, motherfucker.
I know.
Like, why'd you do that?
I know.
But this movie, I was like, so like, I couldn't believe how good this movie was for me. Like, I mean, in 2010,
dude, the gore,
because the gore and the fucking
body
he's running
count,
on
man.
roofs and he's bipedal and quadruped and it's like
When
Bram Stoker's Dracula and there's Anthony Hopkins in here and they're fucking fighting. They throw the fuck down at the end of the movie. They fight. They have a big fight scene. It's just fucking badass.
When Hopkins rips his shirt off and throws it down,
he's like, ugh. Like he's scary in there, dude.
Monster kid, right? What's better than a monster? Two monsters, right? Two monsters fighting, beating the fucking shit out of each other.
That's always my ace in the hole with this motherfucker.
And I remember once again, I was sitting in the theater and I was like, I got problems with this, but Monster Rumble! Boing, oing, 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 oing.
That's
the little fucking kid in me is just overjoyed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I think what was it? I was on Twitter talking about this. I think it was this week or something, or I was in a chat and I was like, I think it was Matt Barr was like, that movie was like, all right. And I'm like, what about that monster fight at the end though, bro? And he's like, oh yeah, that shit's fucking bad. It's like everybody likes that monster fight at the end because it's some of it's CGI, a little bit of it, but there's still a lot of it where it's not CGI.
A lot of it's practical, and it's brutal.
And they look like two wolves, like even little shit where they just run up the side of the furniture and jump back on each other, and they're like,
and they're biting fucking plugs out of each other. It's just nasty.
Like this is one of those movies where, like, if it's on TV, I watch it. Like I don't know, man. And that the hero moment I think is when he fucking, I don't know. Maybe when he's like howling at the moon or something, and it's really cool too. The scene where when he turns the first time, and you know that dude's about to kill himself. He's like, and he's just like knocks his head off.
That's the thing. That I think works so great about this movie is that it is a gothic horror story.
It is.
It is brooding, but then you get to the Wolfman scenes, and gee, they're kind of jolly, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they are. They're kind of fun. You know
they're
what I mean?
jolly as fuck.
And you're like, what the fuck am I? Why do I like this?
Jolly as fuck.
You know? I like the scene too when he's going to the village. You know, and it shows him as he's a brave man, Talbot. I mean, he's depressed and he's insane. He's suicidal maybe at some point, but he's fucking brave. See, he goes out and looks for the fucking werewolf for whatever it is. You know, and he goes out there.
The thing that
he knows there's a fucking monster out there fucking everybody up, and the bear is scared. Well, that CGI bear was kind of whack, but I'm okay.
Yeah, it was.
But he was still looking. He was still looking for the motherfucker, and he went in there. And then that little scene, though, dude, there's a lot of little on and off CGI parts going on. But he goes to that like Stonehenge type esque spot, you know.
Yes.
I like that scene. That scene's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
That scene in there. I think there's a guy from like an American Werewolf in London too. He's like the cop in there. I think he's actually from American Werewolf in London, one of the townspeople in the Slaughtered Lamb. I think they put him in there, and he gets it like that, and he rips him. And there's like just like a scene where, because it's Anthony Hopkins, he grabs the guy, and he's like, like rips it out. The way they shoot it, it's just like brutal. And he's kind of like a little node to Nosferatu, where he's coming through with a shadow.
Well, think about the original. Yeah, think about the original Wolfman. What would he do? He just grab you and basically kind of like strangle you, maybe bite you, right? Right. So then it's like, okay, well, what would that actually look like? What could a werewolf actually do to you? Yeah. And they turned it up to 11. For instance, you'll notice the length of the claws.
So big. Like even from the gate, like in the first two, right there.
Cartoonishly huge.
Yeah.
Those aren't claws. Those are like scythes.
Yeah, they're fucking knives, dude.
They're gigantic, right?
So cool.
And to like a ridiculous cartoonish degree, that really works, right? Because the whole idea, the way that they approached this was, okay, how could a creature like this be menacing?
Yeah.
And how could we make this scary again?
Right.
And I mean, you know, I'm a jaded horror movie fan, so shit doesn't scare me. But if that was coming at me, I'd be fucking shitting myself with fear.
There's some spots in here that are kind of like they'll be scary for like a Quantum, like just from the makeup and shit that he does. Like you kind of picture that thing coming at you because the effects are so good, the makeup's so good. I think
it's a proper horror movie. It's a proper horror film. One of the things also about the effects. One of the reasons why folks, if you've seen this movie and you like this movie, or you watch it on Tubi and you like it, get the fucking Blu-ray. because not only
I gotta
does it
get the
have the
Blu-ray.
unrated version,
Yeah, I got
it
the
has
DVD.
the fucking extras.
Yeah, dude,
And
it's
in
so
the
cool.
extras, you get to see Rick Baker working on this thing. And one of the things I thought was really cool was, in the original Wolfman, Lon Chaney Jr. walked on the balls of his feet.
Yes. Yeah. He does that
But
in here too.
he does that in here, but what they did was they took it to another level.
Yeah, they're like
Uh,
big, dude. Like
They took, those prosthetic legs
yes, I
that
do.
are, they're not aesthetic, right? They're very lightweight. They look almost like they have like a spring,
Yeah, definitely.
kind of, and just
They
in the
did that with
in the
Underworld
in the
too.
curvature of what's supposed to be the foot, right?
Yeah, the
So
back
because
leg.
they're designed to be lightweight, aerodynamic, and what they did was they attached like a boot to that the actor's feet would slip into, and then they could just fucking book around.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, okay, then you see there's a wonderful shot where you see him hauling ass, and it's all in camera without the footage sped up, and you see that the way they did that was they had the stuntman running on a basically like a flat surface, like a carpet would be the best way to describe it, that was being pulled by a car. So he was running on this thing as it was moving.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so that's why it looks like he's booking like 35 miles per hour or something like that.
I remember they were doing that with I remember that from the special features, and then Tim Burton was doing that with the Planet of the Apes too for his remake.
There's another one.
D.W. Smith.
Forget.
D.W. Smith in the chat. He's I got 3 books. They're the Barker Carpus Gang, An American Crime Family, 2016, and Ghostly Tales of the Southland, Haunted Places of the Old South, 2018, and the Renfield graphic novel.
Dude, if you ever want to come on here and pimp that shit, just ask. We'd be happy to have you, and we could show something or discuss something that's Dracula or Renfield related. But
not only that, but I do have 5 spots left in CromCon this month.
Yes, there's 5 spots left in the CromCon. Talk to this man.
5 spots.
Talk to this man. Seriously, dude, you've got what 3 books? The Barker Carpus Gang, An American Crime Family, Ghostly Tales of the Southland, Haunted Places of the Old South. So those sound like nonfiction, and both sound great. Are these available on Amazon or someplace? Feel free to drop a link, dude. Anybody ever wants to come on here and pimp anything, you're more than welcome. We're all about that. And didn't Clive Barker do a werewolf movie? No, unfortunately.
That'd be cool.
I would love to. Guillermo, I think would do an interesting one.
Yeah.
But we were talking about Clive Barker a couple weeks ago when we were covering Hellraiser, and he just kind of disappeared from the scene. Evidently, he's still writing. Evidently, Doug Bradley says he's read the new Hellraiser novel that Clive Barker wrote, and I forget what it's called, but he says that it would make an awesome movie, and if they want to make that as a film, he would come back as Pinhead in a heartbeat.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. W.D. Smith says yes, they're on Amazon, folks. Go check out W.D. Smith's books. They sound really cool and interesting. Now the movie posters. We always talk. Whenever we always when I prepare for these streams, I always try to find cool shit. I always try to find toys and fan posters and international posters, that kind of a thing. There's a little piece of fan art that's kind of cool. Proportions are off a little bit, but it's all right. This one's very dubious looking, but it's enjoyable. And this was the official poster. I
remember that one.
Yeah, that they had in cinemas.
That's like a tease right there.
Yes, it's cool because it's showing you the monster without showing you the monster.
Yeah, definitely.
I still say that's rich, man. I'm just saying. He was on my show earlier today. You know, no, when you showed the clean cut version of him, right? Rich
Yeah.
started a new job today, so he cut his hair all nice and
Oh,
pretty
good
and
for
shit
him.
and shaved. And dude, it's like it's Rich.
Nice. Shadowhawk says, Nightbreed had some werewolf adjacent characters, I guess. Yeah, well, I mean, there's all kind of monsters all up in there, but
Yeah.
they're never exactly monsters from folklore. They're all Clive Barker monsters.
That's like Clive Barker's X-Men, huh?
It is. It is. And one of the things that I love about the monsters in Nightbreed is that some of them are actually quite beautiful. Right? Like the I love the porcupine woman. Right? Because it's that attraction revulsion thing, right? Like she thinks she's all sexy, right? And it's just like, yeah, honey, I don't know, like those quills might be an impediment possibly. But that that monsters can be beautiful or even elegant. Even while they're horrific. Of course, there's nothing elegant about werewolves. Werewolves, of course, are the beast within.
Well, this movie got me liking The Pug. Like, this is my favorite werewolf movie of all time.
Aren't you glad that they stuck with that? Aren't you fucking glad that this was made by clearly, because that's one thing I could always say about this movie, even when I'd only seen the theatrical version, which I wasn't that fond of.
Yeah.
You could always say this was made by people with love.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That they actually cared.
Yeah, definitely.
This wasn't a Brett Ratner joint.
Yeah, nah, hell no. This was a fucking. I created Boba. Boba was it? Well, he co-created Jango Fett, right? Or Boba Fett. Sorry, yeah, Joe Johnston, the director.
Yes,
he's a co-creator.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know he was a George Lucas guy.
He worked on a lot of the Indiana Jones movies too.
Worked on a lot of the Indiana Jones movies, a bunch of stuff. If you look at his filmography, he's done very, very well for himself. Yeah, I mean, come on, look at that face. He's practically already a fucking pug there. Seriously, if you did like the Rick Baker makeup that he did on Jack Nicholson for Wolf, you wouldn't even really which was I always refer to as the Henry Hull, because it's basically the same design as the one that was used in Werewolf of London.
Right.
You just have to give him some fucking fangs and the little hair, and like you're good to go. And there's
crazy, man.
Rick Baker and one of the producers accepting the Academy Awards that they so richly deserved for the makeup effects in this movie.
Yeah, it's really good, man. Like he's pretty scary sometimes.
Menacing Baker, for sure. Menacing as hell.
He can do different werewolves, like different styles, like he's just the guy to go to. That's the guy I would go to,
Check out this poster.
Right. That's awesome. Got the Beast of Gévaudan.
Yep.
They still haven't done that yet. I'm using that in my next Butch Cleaver 3. So
it's such an interesting story.
That won't be for another 6 years or so, but he's definitely he's definitely in there. That's
right.
When I'm done promoting book 2.
Yeah.
I'll get on with book 3.
Matt's not fucking around. Matt's playing the long game.
Yeah, you got
I respect the hell out of that, man.
If I haven't died by then, but yeah, I'm gonna keep doing
dude, any of us could get hit by a bus tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's why I made all my co-hosts and everybody promise me they'll keep this shit going if I die.
There you go.
Don't let the madness die just because I do. That's not what that's not the plan. The plan is for it to continue to grow. It took on a life of its own, so let it live. Don't let it die with me.
And and keep doing it as long as it's fun. And then if one day you're like, I'm not feeling this anymore, then you stop doing it, or you pass it on to or you pass the torch. WD Smith says might have to copy and paste that URL. You are certainly welcome to, sir. But yeah, fucking Anthony Hopkins, of course.
he's the one that
scenery.
He's the one that like keeps the movie together. He's the main, like, for me, he's my favorite character in the movie. Yeah, but I like them both the same, him and the son. You know what I mean? But dude, I love the character. I almost forgot. I would have totally forgot about this. What do you think of the concept of which they turned into said Wolfman, the catalyst?
Well, it's the moonlight, isn't it?
No, it's actually a mutation. It's science. It comes from the child that his father found in India.
Oh, that's right.
Feral boy that bit him,
the feral
the
boy
mutation.
that bit him. Yes.
So it has nothing to do with superstition, really.
So you're talking about Patient Zero, is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, Patient Zero was this boy in India, and the Werewolf of London. Henry Hall's character is in the Himalayas when he gets bit by a werewolf. And there's like a special flower that blooms like once a year. That's like super rare. That is the only cure for his disease. If you've never seen Werewolf of London, definitely check.
I've seen parts of it. I want to go back and watch it though. But I remember like seeing
awesome.
Seeing like pictures of it as a child in the Wolfman and the Wolfman books I got from the library.
Yes, Emily Blunt. Brilliant actress, and boy, not really hard on the eyes, is she?
No. What can I do for you, Rocky? What do you want?
Yes. What's The Rock up to?
I don't know. He just keeps coming over here and breathing on me real hard. What do you want, dude? What? Talk to me, bro.
Yeah. Talk. Speak, Rock.
What do you want? What do you? What? Oh, he talking to you. He ain't talking to me.
Treat? What?
What's up, dude? Rock. Yeah, they're talking about werewolves.
Handsome boy.
They're talking about werewolves. You got an issue with? Heard the door. The door.
Oh.
Somebody's falling down the stairs. It's an
no!
Interesting night. It's an interesting night here.
Oh, I can imagine every night there's got to be an interesting night. Oh man. Yeah, Shadowhawk mentions Wolfsbane. No, I don't think it is Wolfsbane in Werewolf of London.
That's almost my son's name right there.
Is it really?
Yeah, his name's Bane Wolfberg.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. You hooked your boy up right.
Oh,
yeah.
I wish, man.
I'm gonna go let him out. I think that's what his issue is. Is that what you're? He wants to go. You want to go where? Where do you want to go?
He talk.
Don't just look at me all dumb. Do you want to go outside?
So Blunt and Del Toro, I think, have real chemistry in this.
Definitely.
It's something that you notice when it's not there.
Yeah, it's an undercurrent. You're like, something's going on. Like you can feel it. You know what I mean?
Right. And like, I mean, if you want to look at an example of like negative chemistry, the best I could think of was Christina Ricci and Johnny Depp in Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, where you're just like, it was like just like static or something. Like I don't know if they didn't actually get along on set or whatever, but it was just like, wow, these two have like no chemistry whatsoever. But you can't say that about Benicio del Toro and Emily Blunt. There of course you have the gothic doomed romance.
Yeah.
Right. And immediately,
what do you think of the ending? What do you think of that doomed romance ending compared to the Claude Rains one where his father has to take him out?
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, I like it. Oh, and also
let's the Craven character, the big game hunter breathe a little bit. Take full, you know what I mean? It makes them more epic, you know. But I know
aren't they gonna?
They're both good.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say both this movie and that one are good, and this one would not exist without the original. I do like this one more, but I love that one too. That one's like a work of art. Like, well, so is this one in some ways too.
So is this one. So is this
absolutely.
One. And I'm not saying that a remake should be slavishly faithful to the original because, well, shit, do something different, right?
Yeah, tweak it a little bit. I think that's what they did in this one. Like, I thought they did a good job. I don't think they would ever like
Well,
do
it's
a
more
remake.
Freudian.
Yeah, definitely with the whole,
And
with
you've got
coming here and this scene,
Right, and the fact that his father killed his mother.
Yeah, and he blocked it out, and he sent him there, and he made him go to America, and he'd come back as American Werewolf in London.
Very, very, very much so. Oh God, and then there's the stuff that I thought was really successful is when they catch him and they lock him up and they put him in the asylum and they start to give him treatment, which back in those days was torture.
Yeah.
They would fucking torture you if you were having any mental illness issues. They dunk him into and this isn't fantasy. They would actually do this to people. Dunking him in ice water. Now, I don't know if that water was really that fucking cold. Knowing somebody like Benicio, he's supposedly hardcore. If that water wasn't like horrifyingly cold, when he goes into that water and out, boy, he sells that shit.
I think he fucking went through hell during this movie.
I think so too.
I don't know why. I think he went through hells that like we probably never know.
Well, because
I don't know
he's
why.
The kind
the
of
makeup
guy,
and all that shit, and it was his baby. Like, I don't think he has an executive producer credit, but he was always like, I remember I was following this movie like a fucking meat hawk.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Like, oh yeah, we're working on it. We got a director now. Like people, because there's a bunch of fucking Wolfman stands out there like wanted this fucking movie.
Fuck yeah, and that's why when I heard that he had been cast, I immediately was like, bingo. Right?
Oh yeah, we're good, right?
Yeah, we good.
Anthony Hopkins, Hugo Weaving, Joe John. I'm like, yeah, the Rocketeer's tight as fuck. I mean, it's got potential. He's coming up with the captain. I mean,
right.
I don't think we're gonna get a better remake, dude. I don't think we're gonna get a better remake than this in our lifetime. I do not. The only thing I've heard is like The Rock. They're just trying to get it rebooted, and I think they're probably gonna do a modern telling. And then Ryan Gosling.
What, they're gonna have The Rock as the Wolfman?
It was for a long time, but I don't think he's doing it now because he's doing the Black Adam. I don't think it's gonna happen now because he's fully balls deep in Black Adam trying to save the WB right now.
Oh, dude.
He's their Superman now. Like he's the Henry Cavill. He's the fucking.
Because they don't like Henry. They don't like Henry Cavill
reason.
because I think it's because he dated Gina Carano or something.
Probably
like that.
He's just a regular dude. That's why they don't like him. And he's full fucking toxic masculinity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I guess.
There's that, and then there was the Ryan Gosling thing. That was the newest thing that I heard probably about a year ago. The Rock thing was like 2 years ago. The Rock is a big nerd too, though. The Rock loves the Wolfman, but he's been trying to get the Big Trouble in Little China made for fucking ever.
I know.
And he's trying to bring in John Carpenter to executive produce, and he don't want to do it. Don't need it. Agreed. But I don't think they're gonna do it, man. Like I don't think they're gonna do it.
The actor that I always thought, if I could have cast somebody in that part, Vincent D'Onofrio. I always thought that he would be.
Well, he's an easy sell. He's an easy picture, you know what I mean. That soul, You see him in fucking Full Metal Jacket, it's easy. You see him in Kingpin and Daredevil, it's easy to picture him in that role. It's not hard,
Yes.
You know who else could sell it? Would be Viggo Mortensen. I know we talk about him a lot.
Oh, Viggo would be great. Yeah,
he could do it, but he'd be a little more of I see more of like Wolverine-esque kind of with the hair up, a little different, little different. He's a little thinner, a little smaller. I don't know, man.
Right.
What?
But he's also lacking the thing about Del Toro. What makes him so perfect is that wild aspect.
Yes.
To him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And his acting style.
It's for me. It's kind of hard for me to kind of picture because I just see him. You know what I mean? Like that's, But you kind of, it is time though. We do need a new one. And I'm a Universal Studios stan. So I'm like, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of like Kevin Smith on this. Like, just give me something. I don't give a fuck. Just give me something before I die. Like, I want a whole monster universe before I die. I don't care if it's modern. I don't care if it's gothic. I don't care if it's in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. It can be groovy. It could be fucking 80s. It can be diesel punk, steampunk. Give me something, motherfucker. You know what I mean? It could be now. I want to see all of them on the screen, fighting, doing something, working together, hating. I don't care. I just love that they're the first
The
shared universe.
Universal monsters. You know where they fucked up? I mean, they fucked up hard with the Dark Universe, right? Right off the bat, I knew that this was going to be a fucking disaster. That was going to be a shit show. Why? Because they were calling it the Dark Universe. I'm like, really? Universal? Yeah. What's so hard about Universal monsters, motherfuckers?
Yeah, turn that Dark Universe shit out of there. Just call it Universal monsters. They're fucking monsters.
That's the suits. They're very fixated on that word.
They kind of doomed it by slapping that label on it. WD says that Black Adam got canceled by the new head of DC. What? That must be some like.
They already shot that movie though.
Everyone's loved. He was saying he liked it. He said he liked that, The Flash, and
David Zaslav, right?
Yeah, Zaslav was saying he liked The Flash, that one, and then another one. But it wouldn't surprise me if he fucking canceled it.
Dude. They better dump that shit onto streaming tomorrow before Ezra Miller commits his first murder. Because it's going to happen.
The Flash, they need to cancel that.
He's going to kill somebody.
Not to be a dick, like I said it before, but they need to fucking cancel all those fucking movies and hire new people.
The guy's on an international jet-setting crime spree.
Yeah, he's going to murder somebody.
He's going to kill somebody, right?
They just need to fire everybody and start anew. They need to start anew. Just start anew, get rid of everybody, start anew. Bring Momoa back. He can play Lobo now.
And
Cavill can come back.
This is what I'm clearly. I've got a lot of problems with Batman v Superman. Once again, the 3-hour version of that is much better. It's coherent.
You get the reporter. You get to see a fucking reporter in that movie.
Yes, you get a little fucking Clark Kent.
You get a reporter in that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that was like the main flaw of Man of Steel. Where's Clark Kent?
Well, there's no reporter.
Chilling with you, right? You want to see that interaction between him and everybody at the Daily Planet.
Well, me and the kid were watching the Superman adventures, the Bruce Timm ones. You know what I mean?
So
everyone fucking doesn't talk about it. They're like, dude, I was a big Batman the Animated Series fan. Well, the fucking Superman show was all right too. You know what I mean?
It's
got
better
fucking
than
Lobo. It got Lobo in there. It's fucking cool.
Better than all right.
My kid likes that more than the Batman one. I mean, she's like,
and the Justice League series was fucking the shit.
And I'm like, you see this little banter they got back and forth. This little they don't know. You know what I mean? And eventually they're gonna be, they're gonna go on dates.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, and he's a big fucking dork, and there's none of that. That for me, that was the thing that I don't care if she's a Mary Sue fucking badass journalist that goes and gets the badass fucking archaeological case. I don't give a fuck about that. For me, I wanted to see the relationship build between Clark and her.
Yeah,
we didn't get that, and I wanted to see Clark
she's
fucking be a reporter.
Also terribly miscast, and I like Amy Adams.
I wouldn't put her in there.
But
I don't
she's not
buy her.
Look, for one thing, sorry, not hot enough.
I would have got like Emily Blunt. I know we're doing it on here a lot, but I mean, she would have been good.
She would have been great.
Ava Green would have been good.
Yep.
There's a lot, dude. Like there's a whole lot. Like there's a whole lot.
Right, but there's nothing intimidating about Amy Adams.
And she needs to like be witty and quick and know shit like before you're gonna say it. And she's like willing to like take a punch to the face, but throw one too. You know?
Yes.
That's kind of how she is.
Yeah. And on the Superman animated series, holy shit, they captured that character perfectly. And then you got fucking Clancy Brown, who is fucking Lex Luthor for me.
Yeah, dude. Clancy, the fucking Kerrigan. They got this badass shirt on. Fucking, I'm not gonna say where, so a bunch of people don't buy it, but on one of our, we got the Kerrigan. Fucking, it looks like it's all frisetted out, all black.
Yeah,
I want to get it. But yeah, dude, he's fucking bad. Like, that's why I fucking love him in Pathfinder. Sorry, bro. Him and fucking Ralph Mueller, dude, they're fucking badass.
Ralph Mueller.
The Prey movie reminded me of that a lot for some to the whole Native American angle,
Dude, Pathfinder, you've got fucking Clancy Brown, you've got fucking Carl Urban. You got Ralph Mueller, the new Conan, Conan
from TV, right?
Yes,
TV show. Yeah, I love that movie, dude. That was a good time, man. That's when this came out. Like during like the what is that? The aughts, the early aughts.
I'm sorry. Wow. Everything was there for that movie, and yet,
no, I hear you. The pacing sucked. They could've... No, yeah.
It looked like a fucking. Vikings versus Native Americans, that cast, and it's shot so it looks like a Frazetta painting.
Yeah.
Boing, oing, 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 oing. And then I'm watching it and...
yeah.
Right? It's just like, how bad do you have to fuck up Marcus Nispel, how bad do you have to fuck up that I find that boring?
Yeah.
that takes a special talent.
There's some editing flaws in that movie for sure.
Holy shit.
I mean, just in my opinion, no.
It's a mess. It's a mess. I really wasn't. I just personally wasn't crazy about it. But yeah, fucking Ezra Miller packing heat and a fucking a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, he's a fucking
can't
nut.
Touch I'm non-binary. Can't touch this.
Yeah, totally, dude. Totally.
I'm binary.
Yeah,
and that's
and he's got like
license
a
to
fucking.
kill.
He's got like I think he's got a partner that's got money. I've heard from somewhere. I read somewhere.
Dude, he has a cult.
Shit. Yeah, it's a cult, and he's
Jared
got a fucking,
Leto is looking at him and going, "Damn, that
motherfucker, you're on my game, fucking
bastard,
fucking jocking my shit, motherfucker."
Yeah, because
he's got a weed farm out there too.
Yeah,
like off the books.
And like Jared Leto, he likes them young, but Jared Leto likes them at least with pubic hair, right?
Oh, damn,
he likes them like right. It's
that's why he's going after the
But he's not binary. Can't touch this.
Oh man!
If it wasn't for the child abuse, allegations, I actually think I'm at the point where I think I would actually start liking Ezra Miller in a sick way. Like, you know how you go like full circle with some people,
yeah,
right? Like I remember like Marilyn Manson, when he was on the Howard Stern show, said it perfectly. He was like, yeah, Puff Daddy is like so fake. I think I'm actually starting to like him now. You know what I'm saying?
The character arc turns into a circle.
Well, it's like when you start watching porn and Ron Jeremy is in everything. You're like, oh my god, this dude again. And it's just like, yeah, you're not gonna get rid of me. I'm like herpes. I'm with you, and you just go full circle. And like, okay, now I love the guy.
My buddy told me he met that fool, and he's like, hey,
enter
dude,
porn box.
Jeremy. And he told Ron Jeremy. Jeremy told him, he told him, hey, you want to be the guy that buys Ron Jeremy a hot dog? He's like, I guess I'll buy you a fucking hot dog. So he goes and buys him a hot dog, like at a convention or somewhere.
He's a notorious.
He's like, all right, now you can tell everybody you bought Ron Jeremy a hot dog. He's like, all right, later, dude. It's like, whatever. I was like, that was pretty funny. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Oh my god, isn't he still locked up?
Yeah, he got
free Ron Jeremy. Free Ron Jeremy. Ron Jeremy's locked up in Ezra Miller.
It's a weird woke fucking tard clown world. Like I said the other night, I typed it somewhere. Ezra Miller is the fucking mascot for the woke fucking clown world. He's a clown fucking. He
is, and well, the clown prince of crime now, right?
Yeah,
and the thing is,
Flash.
And it's like it's like. They're leaving him alone. Nobody can touch him. Nobody can fuck with him because he's non-binary. Now, if I were non-binary, I'd be like, lock that fool up now.
Right.
Because first of all, just because he's dangerous, and I'm a human
non-binary
being,
for like a week and be like, I'm non-binary too. All right, you're under arrest.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just you would think that the LGBT community, they're the ones that are the reason why he's protected, and they should be the ones that are like calling for his head on a fucking stick.
Nah, he's just a sick fuck playing everybody. It's a game to him. He's having the time of his having the time of his life. He don't give a fuck about nothing. He's fucking drugged out, and he's drugged out on all the dopamine from all the fucking controlling, this egotistical fucking controlling everybody, psychopathic fucking tendencies, dude. Like that's what he's getting off on. That's what he likes.
Because this is the thing, you work in the mental health care field.
Yeah,
you can't help it. You start you're always diagnosing people.
Yeah,
right now you I always realize, like, I'm not a mental health care professional. Let's just say I'm not a doctor. Right, and that's actually the whole point of what I do. The whole certified peer support specialist thing, right, is that I'm not a fucking doctor. But you deal with so many different people and different types of mental illness. You can't help but go,
Yeah, and you've got like I'm forgetting the term that I use all the time, but you have like work experience in that more than like reading a book and reading about it. You actually
it's like Gator.
You've hung around those people, so like you have like human interaction and on the job experience. That's the word.
Yes,
there we go. On the job experience.
it's like one of those things. It's like when you're like if you live in New York City, you're gonna get gaydar, right? I'm imagine it would be anywhere like, I mean, certainly any places that are famous like gay enclaves, like San Francisco, places like that. It's not something that you consciously cultivate, right? You don't get up in the morning and go, oh, I'm going to work on my gaydar today. It's just that there are certain cues that your subconscious mind picks up on that maybe, your frontal lobe isn't. I mean, I don't know how to explain it really, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like same thing with like living in a neighborhood that was the center of the heroin trade in the 90s. Yeah. I know a junkie when I see one.
Yeah, right? I do too. I know all that shit.
And so when I look at Ezra Miller, I was like, I think he's like untreated bipolar disorder and clearly manic, and his condition is probably being exacerbated by drug and alcohol abuse.
Definitely.
That's my theory. It could be worse. It could be a personality disorder, because if it's a personality disorder like narcissism, there's nothing you can do for that.
And I think a little bit of psychopath in there too.
Yeah. He might be a psychopath. That's entirely possible.
Narcissistic psychopath. That's what I think.
Malignant narcissist, possibly. I mean, like that was always my diagnosis of Trump, was malignant narcissist. Yeah. And what was so funny about seeing him versus Hillary Clinton was like, oh shit, malignant narcissist versus malignant narcissist.
Well, they fucked him up, dude. The FBI. You hear about that shit?
Oh, they don't know. They don't. But they don't. They don't know. Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. What they're doing is really fucking dangerous.
It's dangerous for the voters that are voting for that party. They're like, like in the shadows, not talking to anybody. They're witnessing it and going like, wow.
If they carry him away in fucking handcuffs, that might be the beginning of the cold Civil War turning hot.
Mm.
Like that's when you're going to see some federal buildings blowing up. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
There's a lot.
These are really fucking scary times, man.
No, it is, dude.
These are scary times, and that's why we need fucking scary movies. That's why we fucking need horror movies to take the fucking edge off.
That's why we need Horror Movie Club. CG Horror Movie Club represent.
Yeah. Everybody, I always feel weird asking people to do this. It's like, you're not my monkey. I understand. But if you feel like it, if you're so inclined, click the like button. That helps us with the algorithm. Click the subscribe, and also ring a ding ding, the little the bell for notifications.
Ain't nothing wrong with asking for it. I ask for it.
No, that's true. That's true.
You got to. It kind of like sometimes people just tune in and they're watching and they don't even think about it.
That's true. That's true.
Like they say that ask for it or tell them. But
I was watching EBS yesterday.
Yeah.
And he had about 800 people that had hit like, but he had like 1,500 people watching. And he's like, come on, let's get the likes up to 1,000 real quick. And they went bing, ding, 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 yeah, right up. Yeah, you know what I mean? Right. It's like sometimes you just got to remind people to do it,
Yeah.
Hey, I need to be reminded.
Yeah. If you like remember content, everything, you definitely want to ring the bell so that it notifies you when Brian goes live doing this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, what movie do you think we should watch next for next week?
Man, I'm not going to be here next week, dude. I got to take my wife out.
Oh, we got to pick some.
It's my wife's birthday. You should go watch Vampires again. Sim wanted to watch Vampires.
There we go. I'll talk to Sim and see if he's up for that.
I just don't want to miss out on any.
Again. He's going to take another nap. He's going to take another nap. And, oh, shit. Twice in a row.
Napire.
Oh, man. But anyway, we'll figure something out. And so, folks, definitely, like I said, click the like and the subscribe and all that. And heck, before we tune out, WD Smith, if you got a link, feel free to post it in the chat or to send it to me, or I don't know, I'm a boomer. Don't mind me. Pops, what do you got to say to these people?
There's only a few spots left in CromCon. 2 more just went. You better get a spot if you want one. Just saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's all. Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt. Tune into all the content. We got a gaming show. We come out here and promote everybody all the time. We have the show offs with Rex and Texas Dave on Sundays, the open draw stream. Just trying to have a good time,
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. That's what it's about. Matt, tell these fools where they can find you and your stuff.
Well, if you guys want, you can find me on YouTube at Metal Movies and Brewskis, where I talk about metal, movies, brewskis, comics, stuff like that. I've been doing a lot of like CG and indie book reviews, just talking
Digging
about stuff I
those.
back. And if you guys want, you can pick up my books. It's called Butch Cleaver 1 and 2. I have them on butchcleaver.com.
Sorry.
And it's about a butcher that gets killed and he's brought back to life by a voodoo curse, and that curse gives him the power to weaponize bones. So it's kind of like a spaghetti western crossed with a Hammer horror film. And I just crossed $5,000. We got a
Booyah!
Almost we're pushing 100 backers, and I only got a few more of these left.
Those
are metal
dope,
bottle
too.
openers, and it comes with the next few backers, and it's got bumper stickers and 6 a.m. stickers, and
yeah, boy.
got trading cards, Preston Azevedo cards, a bunch of them. I can't even show them all right now, but lots of stuff. So. And I got more stuff in the works too. So you can get me a Room Cutter Comic on Twitter. Sorry.
Yes. And Matt, like I always say, the true spirit of Comicsgate. The people that seriously, dude, the people that used to remember just hanging out in the fucking chats, always saw their name in the chats, and then just like
change my name to Lurk instead of Burke, huh?
Fuck it. Throw your shit out there too. Why not, man? Why not? And Matt's got an incredible imagination, and the stuff he comes up with, with Butch Cleaver and all the things he can do with the fact that he has molecular control over bone. It's just really badass.
He can't make a computer with it yet.
No, not yet.
Something else that's kind of cool. The whole time I've been out here with you, I've been watching all the other shows that have come out. I've shared
fuck you, Pops.
I've shared like 8 shows, it's like these guys are live, these guys are live, these guys are live, but I hang out here with you guys.
Thanks for doing what you do, Pops. And thanks for promoting me on your show. I do appreciate it. I see you running my ads on it.
And dude,
thank you, sir.
I need that 6-gun gorilla one too. I don't have the trailer. You got to email it to me, Brian.
Duh! I keep forgetting. Okay, I'll shoot you the trailer. Oh yeah, well, I mean I haven't posted it yet, but the pre-launch is up for the Zoop campaign for the 6-gun gorilla omnibus edition.
6-gun gorilla, dog. 6-gun gorilla.
And what I'm hoping is that we'll meet our stretch goal, and if we meet our stretch goal, which is 20K.
Yeah.
Then the book is going to include issues 9 and 10.
Oh shit, that's fucking badass. That's a great idea.
And the book will be old. People will have to wait like an extra 2 or 3 months, but they're going to get like a nice.
Just tell them the date and add another 3 months to it. Yeah. For paper shortages,
Yeah, I mean, shit, anything could happen.
Dude, add another quarter to it. That's what I say.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for hanging out. We actually really do appreciate you cold chilling with us when there's like a billion other streams going on. And we will talk to you soon. Peace. Peace and love.
Peace.
And Matt